right, good evening, IHSA football family, DuPage County family. How you guys doing? Welcome to DuPage Run Shoot, where we talk DuPage County football. My name is Peter Lombre, aka Coach Big P, publisher of Deep Dish Football. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, send it to me, coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Now, I send it over to my co-host, Mr. Cotto. Take it away, sir.
What's going on, everyone? That is right. It's me, Patrick Cotto, the co-host of DuPage Run and Shoot, a sports reporter over at NCTV 17, and the host of Cotto's Mojo. We just dropped a new episode today. You can find us everywhere, Facebook, X, and Instagram. If you got any questions, email me at pcotto@nctv17.org.
All right, sir, let's get into it. And I know you were at this game. Barrington,
Yes, sir.
Naperville Central 21. Go ahead, take it away.
Well, good season for Central, but you're not going to win games if you're going to blow a 21-7 lead. That's exactly what Naperville Central have, but that's what that Central had. But you got to give credit to Barrington. You know, they came back, took the win. That is a damn good football team.
It is.
Dylan Fitzpatrick, holy shit! Once that kid finds a hole, he will go through that hole and he is gone. There's a reason why he's got over 1,000 yards rushing on the season.
Yeah.
And Pete, call me crazy. Barrington's a serious 8A dark horse. People are saying, "Oh, Loyola, Lincoln Way East, man, South." Don't sleep on Barrington or Edwardsville or York. Those are a couple, serious dark horses in 8A.
And I think the big thing that tests the greatness of a football team is their ability to come back after they're struggling. Barrington has done that, and I think Barrington's going to be a very impressive team when we get into the quarterfinals.
They showed that against Naperville Central. Central had a big 21-7 lead. All the momentum went their way. All that started with the, well, I wouldn't say a Jack Cook interception really started it. That came in the first quarter. But at first, we were thinking Central's defense was going to disappear. No, their offense disappeared. Defense plays their ass off in the second half. Barrington gets that late touchdown, and Central really couldn't find the end zone. So really good props to Barrington for coming back and putting the game away.
And big shout out to Naperville Central on a great season. And they
will have a lot of
next week.
They will have a lot of key. I was going to say, Central will have a lot of key starters back next year for sure. The biggest question mark for next year, though, is the quarterback and the receiving game.
Yeah.
If Sebastian Hayes can stay healthy, because he missed the last 2 seasons after tearing both his ACLs, look out for Sebastian Hayes, because he will be a star. Central, but overall, good season for Central, beat all local schools, won the DVC regular season, Crosstown, Wild Hawk. Something to be happy about.
Yeah, definitely. Next one, Wheaton Academy 12, St. Viator 3. They had a defensive struggle, but their special teams were special for Wheaton Academy, sir.
We'll talk about the defensive battle in general. The kicker came on to kick a few, field goals, and Wheaton Academy's only touchdown was by Gino Spinelli.
I mean, you talk about just an unbelievable game for Wheaton Academy and just a big win for that program. And
in the quarters for the first time in school history, I did not know that.
And their defense, just overall, the Wheaton Academy's defense has shown up in these playoffs.
Their next game is a special game in so many ways.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We'll talk about that on.
I'm excited for this game.
All right. We get into the big surprise. Loyola Academy 33, Neuqua Valley 6.
I mean, you got to give credit to Neuqua Valley. They started off 2-3. They were in trouble. They won 5 straight games before losing to Loyola. I'd say it was a decent season for Neuqua. Anytime a Neuqua team gets into the playoffs and at least wins the first round, it's a good season.
Yeah. And
a lot of key players coming back next year. You got Keith Trout, who could be a key player, Will Beeman, Cooper Lehman, Andrew Hoffman.
Yeah.
Jacob
Andrew,
Vanderland.
and Andrew Hoffman's a special player. He's going to be a special player for Nico Valley, no doubt about that.
And Mascari will be back next year too. So Nico will pick up right where they left off next season.
Yep, definitely. Montini 44, Prairie Central 20.
This game was close at first.
It was.
Montini's up 14-0. Prairie Central makes it 14-13, and the Broncos put it away.
Montini has gotten the smorgasbord of small schools these first 2 weeks, and
Been a bit of a head scratcher, to be honest with them. You know, they get off to those slow starts and find a way to put it away.
Yeah.
You know, once you get deep into the playoffs, especially for this matchup coming up, you got to be ready.
Great point, Koto. That was a great point. You're right.
Their next opponent's going to be damn ready. That we're going to talk about.
Oh, yes. Glenbard East 28, Addison Trail 13. We sort of knew what the score was going to be. They fought. Addison Trail fought. So,
you know what? I'm really proud of Addison Trail. You know, they haven't been in the playoffs since 2014. 2 years ago, they went 0-9. Last year, they made some progress going 2-7. This year, they get into the playoffs, win a fucking playoff game. They held with Glenbard East. Very close game, but you got to give props to the Rams.
yes.
They made the plays they needed to. First quarterfinal appearance since 1999. Fun fact, they fell in the semifinals that year to state champion Naperville Central.
And Larson from Glenbard East had a huge game. Big game, too.
Ooh, Matt Larson on the ground. 158 yards in the second half and a couple touchdowns.
Unbelievable. And just to go into that, Addison Trail also honored Coach Parpet, Old Man Parpet. Congratulations. During the coin flip, congratulations. He came back to Addison Trail. Big shout out to you, sir.
Nothing for Addison Trail to hang their heads about. They can only go up now.
Oh, definitely. Quincy 33. Wheaton North 14, correct?
Yes, sir. Hey, it was a tale of two halves.
Wow.
Wheaton North had a 14-0 lead and then just gave it up just like that. Quincy cuts it to 14-12. At one point, it's 20-14. Quincy adds another touchdown with a pick six late in the game. Ooh-wee, Jarius Rice and Braden Little.
They're unbelievable. They really are.
Hey, Mount Carmel, don't get too comfy.
And Quincy gets
all you big name schools, don't get too comfy.
Yeah, and Quincy gets into the playoffs. Quincy gets into the quarterfinals. I'm sorry, for the first time ever in school history. Congratulations to Quincy.
Yeah, a lot of first timers.
Wheaton North is going to be. They'll be back next year. They're going to kick ass. It's always Wheaton North. Dylan Jung's a huge player that you got to keep an eye out for.
A lot of shoes to fill in next year.
Yes, that too. York 17, Lions 14, field goal winner for York.
The type of game we expected. Obviously, Lions Township was ready this time. They had a 14-7 lead, but York, Pete, that's playoff football.
Yeah.
And sometimes games are won ugly. This was definitely one of those ugly games.
I think I've been more impressed with the York offense. I've never been more impressed with the York offensive line than I was that game. Especially seeing some of the highlights, just a hats off to that York offensive line and their defense. Wow. Very impressed with them. Cole Alston.
They've been a really impressive team all year, Pete.
Yeah, they've been very impressive.
They came with a lot of shoes to fill. Well, those shoes were definitely filled big time.
Next one, Nazareth 42, Glenbard Self 0. Glenbard Self is out.
I wonder how many pissed off parents there are right now.
Yeah.
Because a 4-5 team is in the quarterfinals.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it has to be Nazareth Academy. There's a lot of angry parents out there right now.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do it too. I have 4-5 team, but
they're the best damn 4-5 team in the state. They took care of Prairie Ridge at Prairie Ridge. That game, that's never easy to win there. They destroyed a good Glenbard South team. I mean, do you think it was unfair that they got in at 4-5? Yes, and no conversation, but at the same time, look at their schedule.
Yep.
You replace one of those tough games with Bennett Academy. That's win number 5. No offense to Bennett.
Agreed.
This game.
Edwardsville 48, Glenbard West 14.
Edwardsville has shown up this year, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
They showed up in a big way. Jake Curry, this guy's being slept on. He had 4 total touchdowns against Glenbard West.
Mm-hmm.
This was a very close game at first, and then Edwardsville just opened it up.
I was shocked by the score, especially with the third quarter. When I checked the third quarter, overall, Glenbard West's offense, they've had great games and they've had bad games.
This was definitely a bad game. Got to tip your hat though to Edwardsville.
And just like in Glenbard West fashion, what we're going to say, they'll be back in the playoffs and they'll be challenging for a state title next year. No doubt about that.
There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be challenging for a state title next year. If they can get the right quarter. Some teams for sure, if they can get the right quarterback.
And that's why we have the transfer portal, the IHSA transfer portal.
Well, going back to Naperville Central. Here's a fun fact: those soon-to-be seniors, they were 8-1 as freshmen.
Not bad.
And not only that, too, we get the DVC merging with the Southwest Suburban Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, that can help out with competition. Because let's be real, Pete, the DVC was weak as shit this year.
It was.
That's why Central and Neuqua went home. In the second round, the DVC was weak. I feel like with the merger next year with the DVC and the Southwest Suburban Conference, I feel like the competition will be a lot better, and they'll be more ready for the playoffs.
Agreed. St. Francis 49, Sterling 8, Alessio, unbelievable game, 5 touchdowns.
Ooh, nobody can stop Alessio.
Wow. The St. Francis team every time we've said it, that this is going to be a tough team, they've blown by them. What worries me is the St. Francis teams that they play again, teams that we think they're going to absolutely destroy. St. Francis lets us down.
We can't say that.
St. Francis is kicking ass, and that's the most.
We can't say they're going to destroy this opponent.
No, we can't. Definitely. All right, DGN 24, Hershey 21.
And who called that upset?
You did, sir. DGN.
Yes, sir.
Big win. Big.
And
win.
they had to come back too.
Yes, they did.
And finally, Owen Lansu was like, "Hey, boys, I can throw too."
Yeah.
Because they kept Noah Battle in check. Well, they also forgot too that Dallas Grove North has a decent quarterback.
And I really do believe Owen Lansu, just his growth has been unbelievable this season.
Well, it showed on Saturday against Hershey. Big comeback win. Kid's only a sophomore too.
And definitely keep it. I'm telling you this right now for DGN. I talked about Charlie Cruz, but keep an eye out for Owen Fullen. He's a player to keep.
I like him.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player. All right, IC 35, Boylan 0, right? Was it Boylan 0?
7.
Boylan 7. I apologize. Impressive win for IC. I thought Boylan was going to give him a tough one. Nope. IC won that big game big. And overall, manhandled Boylan, I hate to say it.
Yep.
So big shout out to IC. Next one, Omega 44, Willowbrook 0.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, but the fact that Arthur Palicki's dad doesn't like us right now is because I jinxed him.
You did jinx him. You're horrible. Enjoy hell.
Yeah, I guess there's someone else who wants to throw batteries at me.
Yep. Hey, he wants to throw batteries at me too. What do you expect? I thought this was going to be a tough game. I really did, but
in case you're watching, sir, we are recording on Wednesday. I reminded you last week they were recording today.
Again, this is going to be. I think again. I really do believe. Overall,
Willowbrook will be back next season,
and they have the youth movement. They've got some good young receivers, a good offensive line, and I think the running game is going to be important for them next year. But overall, Willowbrook, hats off to what they did. I mean, there was 2 losses in the first 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
They got off to a struggling start this season for sure.
So big shout out to them. All right, let's get into the DuPage games of the week. Montini takes on Princeton.
Pete, Princeton is a team that's been coming across our chart for the last couple of years.
Yes.
In this exact same spot. I feel like this is 3rd time's the charm for Princeton. They've been tired of losing in the quarterfinals the last 2 years. They love to run the ball this year. They got a scary offense with Ace Christensen, who has almost 700 yards. Casey Etheridge with over 1,000 yards. This is a scary, scary offense for Princeton, and they've only given up 7 points in the last month. 7 points. 43 overall this season. I think Princeton finally gets over the hump.
You know what you said. Actually, the notes that I was gonna say. I like this Montini crew. These kids are humble. The fans,
I do too, Pete. But
the fans not so much because they think that they're absolutely going to blow out Princeton.
No, you are not going to blow out Princeton.
You're not going to do it. Princeton's that damn good of a program.
Princeton has been in the playoffs for the last 2 years, where you couldn't even get over the 500 mark in the last 2 years.
Princeton's that damn good.
This is Princeton's year.
And they have an underrated defensive line. And like you said, Etheridge, it blew up the IHSA stats. He's that damn good. So
I believe he's a sophomore too.
So yeah, he's that damn good.
Princeton is a sleeper team.
And again, I'm going to call it the DuPage cockiness disease. Don't have that, because this Princeton team is a real deal. They'll run it up your gut and they'll chew the ever living clock out.
Oh no, Princeton's ready to play.
They're ready to play. I'm going to put this game up in the air. I'm not going to say Montini
I think Princeton steals this one.
I think this game's an up air, and this is a huge test. And again, like I said, small school football is a lot different than large school football.
Oh, yes.
It's a lot different. All right. Let's get into Friday night. The only Friday night game in IHSA.
Do I love this matchup?
Sandwich versus Wheaton Academy, sir.
This is a special game right here. You got Wheaton Academy in the quarters for the first time. Take on Sandwich, who, let's talk about what happened the last 2 years. Last year, no varsity team. The year before, 0-9. Look at them this year. I love this game in so many ways. This will not be a blowout. This is going to be a close game.
Simeon Harris is the best player for Sandwich. Their running back. He's an absolute killer. Their defense, again, like I just talked about in past video, what they did against Plano was unbelievable. The teams that they had been able to beat. And again, just a quick reminder to everyone, in the DuPage land, this team did not have a varsity squad last season. All they played was JV.
And they're in the quarterfinals.
They're in the quarterfinals. And
the year before, they went 0-9.
A wonderful coaching job in the community, hanging on with this team. It's unbelievable.
What a story, to be honest.
This is an unbelievable story. Wheaton Academy, Brett Casper, Keebles, Brett Dieter.
I love this game in so many ways.
This is just one of the better games in Illinois that you have to pay attention to. Sandwich was
the best game of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I sort of see it too as that too. Next one, IC takes on St. Lawrence. Against St. Lawrence, Aaron Ball. You saw Aaron Ball against Bennett Academy, didn't you? What do you think about this game, sir?
IC's offense versus that St. Lawrence defense. This is going to be another close game. You know, we're at that point in the playoffs where to see, where some of these teams could emerge. What kind of IC team are we going to see? What kind of St. Lawrence team are we going to see? We see different teams every week.
And I think, again, Les, their quarterback for St. Lawrence, I believe that's going to be a huge thing on him. I think IC's running attack with Gelada. He's a hell of a player. Secondary strong, and I'm still praying for my 4A title matchup between IC and Rochester. I'm praying for it. This is I just gotta go with IC on this one. I think IC is going to win this game. I think they will
too.
Yep. St. Francis takes on Morgan Park, and you talk about another great story. Coach James, Morgan Park, and what he's done for these Broncos. These Morgan Park players are kicking ass and taking names, and overall, the only CPS team left in the playoffs. This Morgan Park team.
They've been a special team all season long. They're going to give St. Francis some hell.
And they have the secondary and
in fact, I won't be surprised if Morgan Park pulls it off.
I think the big thing is going to be a Morgan Parks defensive line, and they have the defensive line. That's going to be.
If they're going to give trouble to Alessio, look out.
And again, Morgan Parks quarterback Marcus Fraxon, he's got to ball out. This is going to be a big game on his shoulders, Marcus Fraxon. But again, a big shot to Coach James and what he's done. He's done an unbelievable job. And this is a huge proving game for St. Francis. You talk about two great storylines colliding with each other. What a game. Normal Community takes on and goes up north against Glenbard East.
This is going to be another good game, Pete.
This is going to be a good game.
However, this is the biggest test of the year for Glenbard East. They're going to have to play turnover-free football because Normal Community loves offense. Normal Community is going to come ready to play. That Glenbard East defense needs to be ready. It's going to be tough for the Rams if they turn the ball over once.
Their normal defense is just going to be a pain in the ass for Glenbard East offense.
However, Bradley Bourbonnais almost did pull the upset against Normal Community. So there's a chance that Glenbard East could pull some magic, and this is playoff football. And again, these are two teams that have never even seen each other before.
And Glenbard East quarterback, that passing attack, that's going to be huge for them. But we will see. I think that the big thing is going to be also with McLean and the defensive line. And I think Normal's going to get the best out of this game.
No matter what happens, we're proud of Glenbard East.
Yes, we are. And talking about another team that we're really proud of, DGN takes on Lincoln Way West. Lincoln Way West, what a story. Unbelievable story.
What a story for them and Downers Grove North. We got a lot of teams with some good headlines.
Grafton, unbelievable running game, good group of receivers. And again, DGN is sort of in that boat the same way too. Two teams that you can say marry each other. And I think it will be on the growth of Lansu. What do you think, sir?
Well, Noah Bow's going to come in pissed off just because Hershey held him, held him in check. No, Noah Bow's like, no, they held me in check. I ain't going to be held in check for a second straight week. That ain't happening.
And I think they're going to focus a lot. I think they're going to focus a lot more on Lansu. I think it's going to be up to battle. You completely hit it on the head, sir. You really did. But this is going to be another tough fought game and two teams with great stories. And the last one, Edwardsville travels up north.
There's a lot of popcorn we're popping this weekend because there are a lot of great matchups. I might need to swing by to check out some of these games.
What do you think? This is going to be a tough game. They're going up north against the tough York team. Milton's pissed off. The York squad they want that W. And I think again with Edwardsville, the big thing is going to be stopping Jay Curry. I think that's going to be huge. And I think Edwardsville
exactly. If they can get to Jay Curry, York will be in good hands. They have to get to Jake Curry though, because if they let Curry cook, they're in trouble.
And again, if they do that, I think the big thing, the first part is going to be the first phase of the game that they're going to do is Edwardsville's going to try to get into those inside runs against York, and I think the big thing is going to be Cole Orstendorf and those linebackers. I think that's going to be huge. And again, big shout out to Coach G. Big shout out to the York squad. What a wonderful way for them, and they're in the quarterfinals. I still can't believe we got two WSC teams in the quarterfinals. I still can't believe it.
I love it.
I thought our small schools were going to outperform. I thought our big schools were going to a little bit underperform, but we got a pretty good amount of teams, DuPage teams in there.
Pete, I love this. We could have a lot in next week. I think we could see a non-private DuPage school win it. I think we could see a public school from DuPage win all this year.
I think we do too. Like 2021 with was it
Wheaton North?
Yeah, Wheaton North.
Is Geneva still in the playoffs?
Yes.
Good. Batavia still is stuff. This is going to be this is going to be a great quarterfinal weekend.
And Batavia travels up north
to face
Hano.
Let's go Batavia.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Go Batavia. I really think Batavia is a damn good team. I think the big game is East St. Louis against the Kankakee.
I think Kankakee can pull an upset.
I do too. I really do too. I think this Kankakee team can go get a title this year. I really do.
There's a lot of teams that are hungry for a title.
So what do you think about the Bears game tomorrow?
Yeah. I unfortunately will be there. We'll see what happens. If Tyson Bagent can stop turning the fucking ball over.
Yep. Let's go Bears. Hopefully we can get a big win.
The Bears.
The Bears. All right. My name is Coach Big Pete, aka P. Leonard.
No questions?
No questions, actually. No questions.
Oh.
I know. Send the questions.
Come on. What do we do to you guys? What do we do to you guys?
My name is Pierre Lambert, aka Coach Big Pete, publisher of Deep Dish Football. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. I send it away to Mr. Cotto. Take it away, sir.
This is Patrick Cotto, the co-host of DuPage Run and Shoot, sports reporter at NCTV 17, and the host of Cotto's Mojo. Find us on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Got any questions? Email me at pcotto@nctv17.org.
See you next week. Let's get ready, man.
Yes.